Okay, they're predicting the Arizona Cardinals record prediction. So looking at their roster is probably the worst in the NFL. Obviously, Kyler Murray is out for probably majority of the season. Colt McCoy is feathering backup offense. They do have players like Brown and James Conner. Offensive line is very bad, and their whole defense is so bad, especially if they trade away Buda Baker. So I don't expect anything from the Cardinals this year. So if your week one game versus the Commanders at least have a very good defensive line and a good overall secondary. Um, Can they have home field advantage? I'm taking Commanders. Then you have week two versus the Giants. I just don't see the Giants as a team to get upset, especially since this is a trap game. The Giants still have Saquon Barkley, Dexter Lawrence, a good-ish defense. So I'm giving it to the Giants here. Then week three versus the Cowboys. Cowboys too much talent. I'm giving to the Cowboys all day. Then you have a divisional rival against the 49ers who's coming off a mini bye. Niners is just so talented with Fred Warner, Kittle, Debo, and Brock Purdy, who should be starting. And then you have Kyle Shanahan. San Francisco is just so much more talented than the Cardinals, so I'm giving to San Fran here. Then you have week five versus the Bengals. Definitely a potential trap game, but I do think Joe Burrow and the offense of the Bengals will just go right through that Cardinals defense. I'm giving the Bengals here. Now, week six versus the Rams. It is a divisional rival, but Rams has really done well against the Cardinals. And even though both teams aren't talented, I'm giving to the Rams, especially since they actually have some core players that are like top five in their position. Now, week seven versus the Seahawks. Divisional rival, and Seahawks usually do split with the Cardinals. And even though Seahawks have a improved secondary and a very good offense with a good trio wide receiver and Gino. I think they're gonna get upset by the Cardinals. So I'm giving the Cardinals here. Okay, then you have a game versus the Ravens. Ravens, another team with a good coach. Ravens have a really good defense, especially with Marlon Humphrey and Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith. That front seven is really good um for the Ravens, and Cardinals just can't compete whatsoever. Colt McCoy is going to struggle, and that defense is also going to struggle, especially if Lamar Jackson's still healthy. And I don't see this as an upset game. John Harbaugh is too good for that, so I'm giving it the Ravens here. Then you have them against the Browns. Nick Chubb is going to run right over that Cardinals defense, giving to the Browns here. Then you have a game versus the Falcons, a potential upset game again. Falcons offense, I think, is kind of one dimension of and the Falcons defense has shown promise, but they're kind of unproven. Cole McCoy could have a potentially good game, and Cardinals do have home field advantage. As long as they can stop the Falcons' run game, which I don't think they can, and then Falcons are going to run right over that Cardinals defense. So I'm giving to the Falcons here. Then you have them versus the Texans. Potentially even match, but I do think the Texans have a better coach, and they brought in some more talented pieces with home field advantage. So I'm giving it to them. They have Week 12 versus the Rams. Rams, like I said, have done well and do have some core pieces like Stafford, McVay, Aaron Donald, but I see the I don't think the Rams are that good, especially if one or two injuries to their star players happen. Again, I'm giving the Cardinals here. Then you have them versus the Steelers. I think Mike Tomlin's too good of a coach to be an upset. Steelers have a good defense and potentially good offense. Steelers. Then you have your bye, and then you have them versus the Niners, especially another trap game for the Niners. But I see the Niners getting past this since the Niners do well down the stretch. And Cardinals just aren't good, especially if injuries happen. I'm giving the Niners here. Week 16 versus the Bears. Bears have home field advantage. It's going to be cold. Justin Fields should run over that Cardinals defense. And even though the Bears don't have the best defense, Cardinals don't have a good offense. I'm giving week 16. Then you have week 17 versus the Eagles, potentially the most lopsided matchup. Eagles are probably one of the most talented teams, and Cardinals aren't. Giving to the Eagles, and then week 18 versus the Seahawks. No way the Seahawks get swept by the Cardinals. I'm taking the Seahawks here. So Indiana, the Cardinals going 2-15, 2-4 in the division, 1-7 at home, and 1-8 away.